Hey entrepreneurs, welcome to the Founders with Million Dollar Heist podcast series. In this show, I will be hosting successful makers from Product Hunt who have nailed their product launches. Hopefully, we will learn lots of valuable insights and experiences from those founders that can supercharge your upcoming launches. So let's dive in. Hey folks, today my guest is Farid from Azerbaijan. He graduated the 500 Accelerator program. He's the founder and CEO of Beep, the all-in-one project management and collaboration platform that already empowers 200 teams worldwide. Most interestingly, he launched the product on Product Hunt and secured the number one product of the day. We will be learning a lot of things from Farid and about his product. But before that, let's welcome Farid, the founder and CEO of Beep. Farid, welcome to the show. We are very happy to have you on the show. Tell me, how are you doing today?
Thank you very much, ISTIAK, for nice introduction.
It
I'm
was my
actually doing
pleasure.
pretty
Yeah,
well. Yeah.
that's great.
What
That's
about
great.
you? How
Yeah,
how is
I'm,
your
I'm,
day?
yeah, I'm doing fine. And like, I am an upcoming launcher on Product Hunt, and hopefully, I will be launching in a month.
Okay,
So I'm a bit nervous as well. So hopefully, we will learn a lot of things from you in this podcast, so that people like me who are going to launch soon can benefit out of it. All right. So let's get started.
let's
So
go.
before, before deep dive into your product, I would like to start with your Product Hunt journey. So tell me, when did you join Product Hunt? Which month or year?
Well, I don't remember actually the exact year
Right.
because it was a really, really long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
um and I think I even had like a different I had multiple accounts, so I cannot
Okay.
really tell exactly when. It was many years ago. Actually, I would usually just use it to check products, and I
Mm-hmm.
always thought, okay, maybe one day my product will also be number one there. So which was a kind of a small dream, let's put it that way. Something a sm- like something that obviously I and probably many other people wanted to achieve. But yeah, I don't remember the exact year. So in
Okay,
short,
no problem, no problem on that. But dreams do come true, isn't it? Your dreams have come true. You have finished the number one product of the day.
yeah, I mean, yes, it came true. It was a small dream. Obviously, it's just a start. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's not like the end of the road. Let's put it that way. Like it's
Okay.
probably actually the not the easiest. I mean, I mean, in terms of like everything that you have to do after that, it's quite easy compared
Yes.
to whatever comes after that to actually build and grow the product and the company. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it came true. We became number one a few weeks ago, which was actually it was much harder than I thought it would be,
Mm-hmm.
and it was lots of preparation because before that, my idea of product hunt was different. I saw that if you just
Mm-hmm.
launch a cool product, then people will just upvote. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. You have to do quite a
Okay.
bit of
Mm-hmm.
marketing in addition to
Mm-hmm.
launching an interesting product.
Interesting. So people who are thinking that I'm going to launch and grab the number one product of the day, and that's it. So it's not true. So I think we will
No, no, it's
learn
not
very
true.
interesting things from Farid. No problem. So tell me about your entrepreneurship journey first then. When did you start your entrepreneurship journey?
Well, I've launched like few projects.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first product maybe that the first type of business that I was doing, maybe it was like 10 years ago when I just was in
Mm-hmm.
school. It was something very
Mm-hmm.
simple. I was just buying fake watches and reselling them. But that's not really anything to do with IT. It's just like the first thing that I was doing, and I was able to make quite a bit of money and just to buy some nice stuff for myself, which was a nice feeling, obviously. But that was the
Mm-hmm.
first thing. I was just buying fake watches from China. I was reselling
Mm-hmm.
them in Azerbaijan, so that was
Mm-hmm.
interesting. After that, there were a few other startups as well. One of them,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, we it went kind of well for 2 years, but then we had to close. We were in debt and like we owned money and blah blah blah. So we had to close. I had to find a full-time job to replace the debt. So that's not
Hmm.
not
Wow, that's a quite a
anything. Yeah,
journey. Wow. So you are a born entrepreneur then. So you have started your entrepreneurship journey when you were very young. Tell me, how old are you? I mean, at this moment,
I am. I'm 28, and but I will be
28. Oh,
29 this year.
okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. So
Well,
you
what
started,
about you?
yeah,
How old are you, by the way?
I'm at my 30s now. So we are very close, not so far
Oh, you're
regarding the
30.
age.
Oh, you look pretty young.
Oh, I'm considering it as a compliment anyway. So so
It
you
is
are
a
a
compliment.
born
Yeah.
yeah. So you are a born entrepreneur, and so interesting. Like, is it are you a bootstrap entrepreneur? Like you have figured things out with trial and error because you have tried few
Mhm.
things before launching a
Yeah.
product professionally on Product Hunt.
Yeah, so most of the projects I would say were bootstrapped.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that any of the projects were huge success. I had some like medium success. I would put it that way. I had few projects that would give me like passive monthly income, where
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to do anything else. I could just work on some other projects and just get some passive income.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, I had a school where I was teaching Photoshop. Basically, I had online classes that I pre-recorded, and I also had the YouTube channel where I would just sell those pre-recorded classes. It was like digital art stuff, and it was also like a monthly subscription, and that was giving some nice passive income, you know, over the last 3 years maybe. And but then I reached kind of a ceiling, and I was like, okay, I have to do
Mm-hmm.
something else because I don't think I can grow this anymore. And also, it got quite boring and repetitive. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
So I
that's great.
wanted to do
And
something new.
mm-hmm. Okay, that's great. It's like, when you are bootstrapping, that's how it goes for everyone, I think. Like you learn some things from your first product, then use it for your second product. That's how you grow, isn't it? For example, I had one of
Yeah.
I had a friend, like he's a very successful founder right
Hmm.
now, and he once said that my first business took 8 years to build. All right. But now I have total eight business. The rest seven business took only 1 year to build.
Yeah, I think that actually makes a lot of sense because probably once he built that one business, even if it took him 8 years, he probably had enough capital to and experience
Yes.
to start
Yes.
others much faster. So that
Yes.
is that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yes. And tell me one thing, like if anyone wants to start their entrepreneurship journey, what do you suggest? For example, make sure you have a passive income to survive, and also
Yeah.
planning for your upcoming startup, right?
Um. So I think the best way to do it if so first of
Mm-hmm.
all you have to decide whether you want to bootstrap or whether you want to get investments. If you want to bootstrap, then obviously you should have some kind of way where you earn money. That's just to pay your bills. But
Mm-hmm.
it should not take your full time. It should be like a part time thing or just a side thing, so that you still have many hours left for your main project, and yeah, you just
Mm-hmm.
try to bootstrap it. So you need to have some kind of source of income. So that
Mm-hmm.
works really well if you're a freelancer. So you can regulate your time, and then other part of the time you try to build your company. But obviously, like you need to still have some passive income or even active income. Like maybe you work 4 hours per day as a freelancer, and then the rest of the day you work on your project.
Yeah, so it's a long night. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. So people who are planning to start their entrepreneurship journey, make sure if you have a passive income to survive yourself, and make proper preparation to launch your next product. Otherwise, you will keep burning yourself. So yeah, so that's great. Like let's get back to the journey of your Product Hunt, okay? Because myself joined Product Hunt back in November 1st, okay? And I have fell in love with the Product Hunt community, to be honest, because I quit my social media activities back in 2017. there is zero post everywhere.
Mhm.
Like I haven't posted a single thing because I have a motto, elevation requires isolation. Okay. So last November, when I joined Product Hunt, a fellow founder friend told me, hey, if you are planning to launch your product, then Product Hunt is your kind of, platform. Then I think I
Mhm.
thought, okay, let's give it a try. And I just joined and boom, like I found my kind of social media platform at the end of the day. So anyway, no problem. So tell me one interesting things, like what was your highest trick on Product Hunt? Because this is the most interesting thing everyone is curious about, isn't it?
Really? The streak?
Do you even
um,
remember? Yeah.
I I don't know because I mean I check Proton, but I don't check it every day. I check it maybe a few times a week. So I don't think I really
Okay.
have like I have or had a great streak.
Okay.
I mainly just I would just check it to like find some interesting products, but yeah, I don't. I think maybe other people have they have more things to show off in
Okay.
that way.
Okay. Okay. So this is interesting. Like, uh, you know, uh, many people think, okay, I joined Product Hunt and I have to keep the streak to get successful. So that is not the way, guys, because Farid only checked on Product Hunt a couple of times in a week, but he still have been able to secure the number one product of the day. So it's all about your organized
Well,
plan that
what
will get you to
what does the
success.
streak
Yeah.
even I mean, but it
Okay.
has no connection to your product launch. Like it doesn't
Right.
give you anything
Yeah.
in terms of when you launch.
Right.
It's even when you get followers on Product Hunt,
Mm-hmm.
it has also
Mm-hmm.
no effect because your followers are not notified, as far as I know, when you launch a new product. I
Okay.
think they are not notified about it. So that's why, for
Oh.
example, even
Mm-hmm.
if you many people
Mm-hmm.
think that if they find a good hunter that has 10,000 or I don't know
Mm-hmm.
50,000 followers, whatever, then they're
Mm-hmm.
secured number one spot. But that's not how it works because even if someone has 50,000 followers, his
Mm-hmm.
followers or her followers will not get notified that
Oh, really?
there's
Mm-hmm.
a new launch. As far as I know, no, they don't get notified. The only ways they can get
Mm-hmm.
notified is if that person creates a discussion on Proton and then
Mm-hmm.
tags that product. Then, because followers get notified when you create a new discussion, but they don't get notified when you
Okay.
publish or hunt a new product. I mean, you should double check
Mm-hmm.
this, but that's
Mm-hmm.
what at least I saw the last time I was checking that information. So, for example,
Okay,
in
that's
our
interesting.
launch,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because when we launched, I don't know if you know, there is a guy called Chris something.
Okay.
I don't know
Mm-hmm.
exactly his name. Anyway, I think he's like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the top hunter on Proud Hunt. Like I think he's number
Mm-hmm.
one from like over all the time. Like he's the best number hunter, and he hunted Mid Journey version 6. So when we
Wow.
saw that, we were like, okay, there is no chance. Like this guy is first of all top hunter. Secondly, he hunted Mid Journey. Like, come on. But we still were
Yeah.
number one. I think so. Mid Journey came not even at two; they came at three. So that just shows you how much.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if like Mid Journey is obviously an amazing product, and then this guy is number one
Mm-hmm.
hunter, still it didn't make number one spot. So that's not how Product
Okay.
Hunt works, basically.
Okay, okay. So this is very interesting because I am learning a lot of new views from you today. And this is interesting, like room for improvement, knowledge regarding the product hunt. Okay. So do you think it's all about, reaching out to people and getting them, uh, support on your launch day? This is the only
Yeah.
thing that can get
So
you on the top, right?
that plus the product. So basically, it needs to be a combination of two things. It needs to be a well prepared product page,
Mm-hmm.
and also you doing preparation before the launch. So what do I mean by
Mm-hmm.
preparation? Many people
Mm-hmm.
just start
Mm-hmm.
reaching out to people on the day of the launch and like, hey, support me, blah blah blah. But this is like a very low chance of success if you do that. So what we did, we actually prepared at least a month in advance. We had a
Mm-hmm.
spreadsheet. So first we created a teaser page, basically
Okay.
coming soon
Mm-hmm.
page. On our coming
Mm-hmm.
soon page, on the day of the launch, we had close to 600 followers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very high, because on average coming soon pages have 50, 60, maybe 100 followers. Ours had at
Yeah, yeah.
600.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
Mm-hmm.
the reason why is because we created a separate spreadsheet where we would find active Pro Hunt members. We would message them
Mm-hmm.
on LinkedIn and ask them if they're interested in our product and if they would like to support us. And if the answer is positive, we would add them to our spreadsheet. So basically, on
Okay.
the
Mm-hmm.
like before the days of the launch, we had at least like maybe 2,000 people on that spreadsheet who would
All
use
right.
that,
Mm-hmm.
who said that they will support us. And when we
Mm-hmm.
launched, we went and messaged those people because they agreed that they would be interested to get notified when we launch. So it's like
Okay.
you build like a
Mm-hmm.
list
Mm-hmm.
of people who are interested, and then you message them on the day.
Okay, it makes sense. But tell me one thing. Like, if you are going to message 2,000 people on your launch day,
Yeah,
but I think you cannot do it on your LinkedIn, right? Because you cannot send 2,000 messages in a day in LinkedIn. Is it?
yeah,
Is it possible?
that's true. There's a limitation in LinkedIn, but we have like 4 people in our team, and everyone has LinkedIn. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what we did. We reached the limitation. I think maybe we messaged like close to 2,000, not exactly 2,000, but we reached limitation. So yeah, you need to have multiple accounts, like or like multiple people in
Mm-hmm.
your team. If you have multiple people, everyone should have an account. If you're alone, then you should have multiple accounts. There's no other way to do it if you do it on
Okay,
LinkedIn.
so
Yeah,
so have you been able to send, like you said you had 4 people in the team, so everyone
yeah.
sent around 500 messages each on LinkedIn, and everyone
No, not
done it
500,
manually?
maybe
Okay,
400,
okay,
maybe
okay,
400, something
400.
like that.
It's still a huge number, isn't it? And
Yeah,
for example, like you have done it manually, like going through every link, go to their
yeah,
messages.
manually, one by one. Yeah, we did manually.
Okay,
So
that's a
we
quite a
didn't
lot
use
of
any
work.
automation tools. Yeah, we didn't use any automation tools. It was all done manually. It was, I would even say more. The most part of it was done in the first 4 hours of the launch. The rest of the day we do
Okay.
some other things, not messaging people,
Okay. Okay. So
because the
you
first 4 hours are
mhm.
the most important ones.
You are right. You are right. And like for example, everyone is not available the whole day. So when, like, if you are sending the
Yeah,
messages on the first hour, then they have the whole 24 hours. Like they
exactly.
will be online at any time of the day. They see your message and go and support your product. So tell me one thing. Like, you had 600 followers on your launch page, right? So
Yeah,
you arrange these 600 people within your 30 days period of your launch, right?
yeah. Yeah, so we
Okay,
started
okay.
at least 4 weeks
Mm-hmm,
in advance. 600 was
mm-hmm.
only the people who subscribed to coming soon page. We had like close to 2,000 in our spreadsheet actually, because there were people who said that they would support us, but they would not subscribe to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
coming soon page, because I mean people
Mm-hmm.
just forget stuff, they're busy and so on. So that's totally fine. So
Hmm.
we had much more, like having just 600. If you just contact 600 people is not enough. You need to contact much more, and that's you should finish that in the first 4 hours. You should finish contacting all the people in the first 4 hours, because after that there are many
Okay.
other things that you need to do in order to keep up, because so that no,
Mm-hmm.
even if you are number one in the first 4 hours,
Mm-hmm.
that means there's a high chance that you'll actually finish number one. So the first four
Right.
hours are the most important ones. But then
Right.
still number two and number three, they can theoretically come and overtake you if you don't
Mm-hmm.
do anything. And we actually didn't sleep for 24 hours, because
Mm-hmm.
second place was trying to overtake us, and we were trying to keep
Okay.
distance from them. So every time we would see that they're getting close, we're like, okay, we need to do something. We need to like do more promotion and so on.
Okay. So
So
tell me one thing. Like, you only sent messages or used any other strategies to reach out to people?
basically any groups. So that is
Okay.
LinkedIn groups,
Mm-hmm.
Facebook groups, Reddit, subreddits.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere you have any type of groups, where
Mm-hmm.
you are allowed to post, you should
Mm-hmm.
post there. In addition to that, after that, I also went to Twitter and started just messaging people in my Twitter account. Um, like just many people. do it only on Twitter. They don't do it on LinkedIn. But LinkedIn is like 10 times better than Twitter when it comes to actually
Yeah, yeah,
getting
yeah, yeah. Because
replies and
because
support.
people whoever are available on LinkedIn, they are real people, because LinkedIn cleans up the users on a
Yeah,
daily basis, I think. And I think, yeah, it makes sense. Like everyone should go for the manual thing, because the automation tools that are available for LinkedIn, I think they get your account blocked by LinkedIn. I have some friends who
many of
use
them.
some
Yeah,
automation tools. Yeah, so makes sense. So you guys, if you are planning to reach out like Farid did, do it manually. Don't go for automation, because it will get your LinkedIn account blocked right away. And LinkedIn does not give your account back.
really, I didn't know that.
Like
I
like
didn't know that.
if yeah, I had few friends who got their account blocked and never got it back from them. I don't know what they're doing now, but maybe they
Wow,
reopened another account, and they had really a huge number of followers as well, and they blocked it.
wow,
So, uh,
that's
so,
crazy.
that. Oh, one more important question that I want to ask. Like nowadays, people are posting on Product Hunt that whenever they are launching, not every product is getting featured on the homepage on the launch day. So, what is your thought about it? Have you heard about it?
I've heard about it. I have not personally encountered it, so I don't really know how
Okay.
true is that. But I mean, I guess if people are talking about it, it's probably true. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Product
Mm-hmm.
Hunt team is monitoring products,
Mm-hmm.
but I would be surprised if it was like nice looking. If it was just a nice product and they didn't get featured. So I don't really know how that
Mm-hmm.
works, but I have heard about it. Yeah,
I think, yeah, I think,
maybe. Yeah.
yeah, you go on, no problem.
No, no, just saying, I don't know. Maybe that person, maybe they have done something spammy in the past, or I don't know. Maybe they have like some kind of bad history with Proton, and Proton doesn't feature them. So not sure, like what's the issue here.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think you have to be solid, like from everywhere. Like you cannot spam product hunt. You
yeah,
have you have to have a solid product, complete product. Everything should be
yeah.
organized. Then I think it's not a problem to
I would,
having you on
I,
featured.
I
Yeah.
would even
Hmm.
add that, like,
Yeah.
so, if that would happen to anyone, that should have happened to me, because when it comes to Beep, I actually accidentally launched the
Hmm.
device on accident. So basically, I
Okay.
scheduled it for a date. Then the date
Hmm.
came. I forgot about that. I forgot that I scheduled it for that date. I wake up in the morning. I see that it's launched, and I'm like, "Oh my god, what do I do?" So I message Proton team. I'm like, "Hey, can you please unlaunch it? Basically, it's an
Okay.
accident. I forgot to reschedule." They do it once. I'm like, "Oh, thanks God." Then a few weeks pass by, and I schedule it again, and I forget about it again. And then again, I wake up, and again it's launched, and I message them again, "Hey, can you please unlaunch it? I'm sorry, I forgot about it." And they unlaunch it again.
Okay.
And then finally when we
Okay.
launched it third time, it was already for real. So
Okay.
if they would have like, if they would have been
Yeah.
like, okay, you cannot launch anymore, I would be like, okay, I kind of understand. Maybe you think that I'm spamming, whatever. But
Yes.
so
Yes.
yeah, if it didn't
Mhm.
happen to me, I don't know. So
So if you encounter any problem like regarding your launching, just contact the product hunt team, right?
yeah, they're usually very helpful. Yeah,
Okay, that's great. And where do you contact? Like via email? If that's so, do you have
I
any email
just
that we can save it
I just me-
for later? Yeah.
I mean, I just message them in the chat. Like on the website,
Okay.
there is a chat.
Yeah.
You just message them there. They usually reply within a few hours.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
I don't. I
That will
never
be
had
actually.
any issues with them with their support.
Okay. I think if you are genuine, then I think there will be no issue on your launch day.
Yeah,
That's great.
hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, like, how Product Hunt impacted your product visibility?
So first of all, I have to say that in our case,
Mm-hmm.
um, the traction is a bit harder because
Okay.
our tool is
Mm-hmm.
a browser extension, which means that
Okay.
you do not only, first of all, you have to use Chrome. If you use like any browser that is not based on Chrome, then you cannot
Mm-hmm.
download it. Like it's Chrome and Chrome based browsers. In
Okay.
addition to that,
Mm-hmm.
after you
Mm-hmm.
download the extension, then you need to go and register. So there's like kind of two steps. So if you just have like a website where people just register using Google Sign In, you would get like probably 10 times more users than what we did. So
Okay. Mm-hmm.
we also got users. We didn't get as
Mm-hmm.
much as we expected,
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, but there were a few reasons for that. First of all, we did it right before Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
so which means I think people were on holidays. So it was kind of I think many people were just on holidays in general. Secondly, we did it on Friday, which it's not. I mean, it's not the least competitive days are usually Saturday, Sunday. Friday is kind of average, but it's also not the most
Mm-hmm.
competitive day as Monday or Wednesday, for example. So that's
Yeah,
why there
yeah,
were
yeah,
just
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes,
yeah.
I
So
have a
that's why there were
question
just less
regarding.
visitors on
Mhm.
Broadhand. Yeah.
Okay, I have an interesting question. Like, why did you choose the Friday instead of the competitive day? What was your end goal to
So
launch?
actually, we were considering to launch on the not on Friday, but on days before that. So on one of
Okay. Mm-hmm.
days that so actually first I will at first we wanted to launch on a low competitive day because obviously our goal was to
Okay.
be number one. So
Yes.
our main goal
Mm-hmm.
was to get that credibility
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we did. I mean, obviously we want users, but getting number one and getting like credibility that you are number one is, I
Mm-hmm.
would say, is probably more important for the future than
Mm-hmm.
just getting let's say a few hundred users now. I would put it
All
that way.
right.
So our main goal to get the credibility. But then after we launched, we actually understood that
Mm-hmm.
if you launch on competitive day and you do everything right, like if we
Mm-hmm.
launched on competitive day, we would probably still be number one. We would just have much more
Mm-hmm.
upvotes because there would be more people coming to the Pro Hunt page.
Yes. 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 Yes.
And we
Mm-hmm.
would also have higher chances to become like number one of the month and so on. So, but because we launched on
Yeah.
the like
Mm-hmm.
day that where there were holidays and so on, so
Mm-hmm.
we weren't able to compete for like number one of the month. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, next time we'll definitely launch on a more competitive day.
Okay, okay. So it's like it totally depends on your end goal, right? Like you have to be
Yeah,
prepared. Like whichever day you are targeting, just be prepared
yeah.
and go for it. You can end up on the top. So yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Like there is some confusions. Like uh, uh, many people post on Product Hunt that when should I launch in which date and everything. So first you need to
Hmm.
set your goals, and then based on
Yeah.
that choose a launch date. So it will vary from
Ex-
person to person. For example, for me, I like competition very much, all right, and even if it is my first launch, I will target the most competitive day anyway. So let's see how it ends for me as well. So tell me about
I mean, if you
how.
prepare
Mhm.
well, yeah.
Yes, carry on, no problem.
No, I was just saying if you prepare
Yeah.
well, then you obviously can go for a competitive day. There are no issues with that. Yeah.
Yes. So tell me one thing, like how did you find your first paying customers? Like have you achieved the first paying customers on your launch day or maybe later on?
Yeah. So we didn't achieve it on the launch day because we give people trial. So we give
Mm-hmm.
them like a 2 week trial. But we
Mm-hmm.
achieved it after the launch day. We achieved it in the beginning, or actually the first day of this year. So that was a good
Mm-hmm.
start for the year. Let's like
Yeah, yeah,
1st January
yeah.
basically. Um,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, so because people had trial, we didn't get like
Mm-hmm.
any type of revenue instantly, but we
Okay.
got like users who started using it, and
Mm-hmm.
now like when they're finishing the trials, they're reaching the limits of the free plan. Now they have to upgrade.
Okay, all right. So tell me like how many sign ups you had on the launch day, even if it was a free trial,
um
no problem. Any
yeah,
approximate number?
so yeah, I don't know how many downloads of the extension, but in terms of signups, we had I think I think over the on the launch we had around
Mm-hmm.
200, which is not
Okay.
much,
Mm-hmm.
but after the launch days, we would see that we were getting 3 times more signups every day than we would get before the launch. So I'm not
Okay.
counting these
Mm-hmm.
signups. So, for example, if
Mm-hmm.
before the launch we would get let's
Mm-hmm.
say, like 3 signups per day. After the launch, we would
Mm-hmm.
get 9, 10, 15 signups per day. So there was an
Okay.
effect that
Mm-hmm.
would help us long term and still continue for like already third week, I would say. We are still getting much
Mm-hmm.
more signups than we were getting before. So that's probably also connected to the launch, I would say.
Okay, and 200 signups on a Friday, I think that's also fair enough because there is comparatively a low traffic. And even after that, you got 200 signups. I think that's impressive. So your product must be a great product. We'll see in a while though.
Yeah, I don't know if like I was expecting more. I
Okay.
think the main reason is because it's a browser extension. If it was just
Mm-hmm.
like signing up on a website, maybe we would
Mm-hmm.
have gotten like three times
Mm-hmm.
more, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's great. So, before deep dive into your product more, just let's make it short. Like, if you want to suggest us what marketing tactics we should focus on before our launch, like specific 2, 3 tactics, maybe. Just apart from the reaching out to people, or this should be the only tactic that you should keep in your mind.
I think there should be only like one tactic, and that is it's not even a marketing tactic. It's just like a manual labor that you have to do. It's not a
Okay.
secret. You just have
Mhm.
to create a spreadsheet, start contacting
Yes.
people, ask them to subscribe to your coming soon page, add them to your spreadsheet, and then on the day of the launch, contact those people. That's it. If
As
you do
simple as
that,
that.
then you're
Yeah.
guaranteed. Yeah, yeah. If you do that, then you are probably guaranteed like top three. Well, obviously, considering also that your product looks good enough,
Yes.
like because sometimes
Hmm.
on Proton you see some products that you're like, okay, I get why this is not in the top, right? So it needs to be
Yes.
like you look at it and you're like, oh, this should be in the top, like regardless
Right.
of the marketing.
Right.
So it needs
Right.
to give a very good impression, obviously. And then after that, you can go and you can publish to different groups
Hmm.
and so on.
Hmm. So, like many people, create their MVP and start launching on Product Hunt. Do you think it is a
Yeah.
effective way to launch? Just
With
MVP.
MVP,
It's
you
not a
mean?
complete
Yeah.
product, minimal viable product.
Uh, yeah. I think if you have payment integrated, then you can launch. In any
Okay.
case, it will
Okay.
be helpful to you because you will get some feedback. Hopefully, you will get first customers and they will tell
Yes.
you what they like or what they don't like about your product so that you can continue making it better.
Okay. Regarding payment gateway, tell me which payment gateway you are using. Like, is it Stripe,
Uh,
Paddle, Lemon
yeah, I
Squeezy?
mean, we just we went for default. We just used Stripe.
Okay.
We didn't do any out of research. We just went for like the standard.
Okay, so tell me one thing. Like, there is two things that I want to discuss with you regarding the payment gateway. That number one
Yeah.
is like I was talking with few founders on the podcast show, and they were saying like I had my Stripe account ready and everything, and on the launch day they blocked my account. Have you have you ever heard of it from anyone?
I have, I mean, definitely not on the launch day. I think I have
Okay,
seen some people saying that their accounts got blocked, but not on the launch day. But in our
okay.
case, for example, we had
Mhm.
trial, so I wasn't really scared about it because I knew no one is going to pay us
Yes,
on that same day. So we had time to
yes.
fix things in case they break.
Yes. So there is another important thing regarding the Stripe that I want to discuss you with, and that is there is something called MOR, Merchant of Records. So, for example, if you are launching a global product, right? So you have to comply with all the tax regulations worldwide, right? So, for example, if your company is registered on United States or somewhere else, you not only
Yeah.
have to comply with that country, but you have to comply with all the countries' tax compliance. So Stripe is not MOR themselves. Like you have to, do the tax calculations and everything like manually to comply with all of the tax, compliance around the world. And so, what do you think? Like, have you ever thought about it? For example, there is another popular
Mhm.
payment gateway that is Lemon Squeezy and Paddle. They are merchant of records, but the thing is their fees are very high because
Mhm.
like if you use their platform, you don't have any liability. They take care of all the tax compliance. So what do you think
Mhm.
about it?
From what I know, Stripe has a things that you can activate that takes care of taxes. It just takes
Hmm.
0.5% or 1%
Okay.
more. So like they add fees,
Okay.
but they take care of the like it's an but it's not like a built-in. It's like additional things that you can activate. In addition to that, I'm not completely sure about the fact that you have to comply with the law of the country where you're selling to,
Okay.
because let me think, because I have some
Mm-hmm.
experience with that as well in general with selling to different countries. um,
Mm-hmm.
um, for example, if you sell within Europe, like in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
you have to there's a thing called VAT. Like you
Okay.
have to add VAT, like VAT tax. But if you're from Europe and you sell to US, then you don't have to add VAT tax. And I also don't know if you have to sell, if you have to if you have to add like sales tax from USA. So I'm not sure. That's a very complicated topic actually. I need to do
Mm-hmm.
more research on that. I'm
And
not
I think yeah,
uh,
I think we need to check with the accountants because we are not accountants, right? So yeah, that's
yeah,
great. Like, but it's a a considerable thing to consider, because if you are scaling in a supersonic speed, and
yeah,
and all the countries are coming after you, then it will be a disaster. So yeah, I think
yeah.
we need to do a
I
lot
mean,
more
I
research
think like they
on
don't
it.
really care about you. It's like, if you are this, if you're just a startup, they don't really care about you. Honestly, that's what I
Okay,
think. And
okay.
also, I
But
think
if you
it's
are making a lot of money, then I
yeah.
think they might come after you.
Well, if
Yeah,
you start making a lot of money, then yes, obviously. But at this point, I don't think they care. Yeah, at when you're
yeah,
like a small startup. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, okay. So, like, for example, people who like, I love Stripe myself, okay, because they
Hmm.
have really a great infrastructure. So, I will also go for Stripe, and let's see what happens. I don't want my account get blocked on the launch day. So let's see. Make sure, guys, to connect with the Stripe team, because they are available 24/7 for your service. So get your account ready and verified so that you don't have any problem on the launch day. Yeah. So before going to your product demonstration, I would want to ask a few more questions about your team. Like, for example, you said you had 4 members in your team, right? So these 4 members, like, you use these 4 members to, develop the product, market the product, and launch the product, or you had a hired different developer team for building your product?
No, no, it's the whole product is built in house, so we have not outsourced anyone. It's built by our team. So everything that we have done is built by our team. Yeah, I don't like outsourcing stuff in general. So
Okay, okay. So how many days like you spent on developing your product?
how many days? I mean, it's
I mean,
more like
months.
how many months. Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
okay, yeah.
it took a lot of time actually, because so originally I
Okay.
started alone. So that's
Mm-hmm.
it was taking longer. Then we
Mm-hmm.
like additional developer also joined us, which made things
Okay.
much faster.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, it's like our product has kind of three parts. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like we have backend, we have front end, and then we have also separate extension. And all of these
Okay.
things like take like, ideally you would have three people to do it, but we don't have to. We have only two people right now taking care of that. So it's all of that is taking time. In addition to that, the extensions that we have built is not like a standard thing.
Mm-hmm.
We had to come up with many creative solutions because Chrome extension API doesn't support many things like by default. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why it took a lot of time, and there's not so much support and information when it comes to building extensions in general.
But the time and effort paid off, so it doesn't matter.
Well, we will see. It's too early to say that. It's too early to say that still.
Come on, you
Product
have
hunt
already,
success is
yeah.
not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not. It's not being number one product hunt. It's. I mean, it's a cool thing, but it doesn't mean that your product will do well. It doesn't mean that you won't close in a few months. So it's not
Yes, yes.
really. Yeah.
and and for example, as you are getting like customers on a daily basis, like a lot of signups, are you planning to expand your team? Like, do you have a limit? For example, do you have a target? Like, if we have like 5,000 users, then we will plan to expand the team, because the more users come in,
Mhm.
you need to give more support, right?
Yeah, we plan to expand our team in 2-3 months. Ideally, to take one more developer and one more salesperson. So to add two more
Okay.
people to the team, basically. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are 4 person right now, and you
Yes.
guys are doing it all with these 4 persons to maintain and market the product right now, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So one final question regarding your team, like what suggestion do you have for teampreneurs or solopreneurs, maybe, like when you are working on a project like with a team,
Yeah.
maybe it's small or big, like there are challenges, right? So from your experience, what suggestion would you give to a team who are planning to launch their first product?
You mean in terms of like a teamwork
Yeah,
or
in
suggestions
terms
in
of
terms?
team, or to stay motivated.
Well, I mean, first of all, if you don't have a team yet, then you should be very careful who you take in your team. For me, it's very important
Mhm.
to have like a very good personal connection with a person. Like if the person is like an amazing expert, but I just don't feel like we vibe, we have a good connection, I will not probably have him in the team. I will not work with that person because it's much experience is important, obviously, but also your like the
Mhm.
way how well you can communicate, how well you vibe is I would say is even more important for the success of the company. Like in our team, in terms of like
Mhm. Mhm.
communication, we all have a very good communication, I would say. We all like we are, I mean, we are good friends. We vibe very well, and so we have a very like close team, I would say, close to
Okay,
each
so
other.
you
Yeah.
guys known each other like for a long time. They're your local friends, or maybe international
Uh,
friends, or something like that.
international friends. No,
Mm-hmm.
so there's like, so one person from the team we just met this year, but I just like we understood each other instantly and we had a great connection. So
Mm-hmm.
I just knew that, yeah, I want to work with that person. So you just, that
Yeah.
when you want to, when you don't want to work with a person, basically. So but other
Yes.
people, other
Mm-hmm.
two people, like I have known them for a few years. Yeah.
Okay. So like vibe matters. Yeah, makes sense. So guys, whoever planning to, create a team, make sure you have the same vibe to, because that will help you get to the top. Because it's an organized plan, like getting on the top is you have to engineer it, I would say. Like it's not a luck, like you have
Yeah.
to engineer it, and
Yeah.
based
Main
on
things
that.
has to come right.
Yeah.
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 Because
So interest. Yeah.
if you are
Mm-hmm.
good,
Mm-hmm.
like if you vibe with a person, let's say if you vibe with a person and you work
Mm-hmm.
together, let's say this person is good, but maybe there are some things that he doesn't know, right? He can
Yes.
always learn this stuff. Like
Yeah,
today
yeah,
in
yeah.
the world of
Mm-hmm.
like programming, if you don't know something, you can always learn it. But if
Right.
the person is the expert and he knows everything, but you don't vibe well, then
Yes.
the communication won't be that good anyway. Like even if he's like he knows everything, but that's why I
Right.
would prefer to have a
Mm-hmm.
good communication and just a smart and fast learner. So good communication plus smart and fast learner. If the person has these
Yes.
three things, then it's good to go.
Yeah, so yeah, communication is very important. Yeah, so everyone should keep that in mind. All right, so Farid, I have learned a lot of things. Actually, a lot of different perspective from you. It's not usual, but it's very important perspective that you have shared so far. I think it will help me a lot and many product members as well. So, all right, so I think we can have a quick demonstration of your product, shall we? Because our
Mhm.
viewers are waiting to see your great product. I personally have tried it, and I love it.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that.
Yes.
Okay, so I will share my screen. Do you see my
Yeah,
screen? I
sure.
don't know if
Hmm.
it's.
Yeah,
Okay, so
I
this is
think
just some
we
random
can
website.
see your screen. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, this is just it's not our website because I want to show you on the screen. For example, if you're working with your team on
Hmm.
this website, let's say this is your site,
Hmm.
and let's say you want to tell the
Hmm.
designers, the developers that this is supposed to be different font. You can create a comment here,
Hmm.
just like leaving a sticker. To do that, all you have to do is
Mm-hmm.
click Alt or Option plus C. When you do that, you get this plus
Mm-hmm.
icon, and I can click anywhere. For
Mm-hmm.
example, here, there is a comment box,
Mm-hmm.
and here I can actually leave a
Mm-hmm.
comment and tell whatever I want to say. For example, like change this font. I can tag
Mm-hmm.
our teammate, so the person that is
Mm-hmm.
supposed to do this. For
Mm-hmm.
example, I will just add test so that the person doesn't get confused because this is a real person and they will actually get a message. So
Okay, no
once I
problem.
click
Mm-hmm.
send, what will happen is this person will get notified in the browser that I actually messaged them and I asked them to do this task. Now this comment is also
Mm-hmm.
getting added. And if I open this here, I see like it's hidden, but if I show it, this is the comment. And when the person visits the site, they will also see the comment here, and it's always added here. And
Mm-hmm.
they will instantly see what they need to do. Now, when you have the comment added, for example, I will just show you our panel. First of all, you see all of your
Mm-hmm.
comments here. You can also go to our dashboard where you see all of your
Mm-hmm.
comments, all of your team's comments, and you can see their status. For example, here, you can be like to do in progress done.
Okay.
You can
Mm-hmm.
go to a board view. You can then be like, okay, what is done, what is not done yet, and so on. Like you can move them and so on. There is also like team beeps, my beeps sent to me, projects,
Okay.
and so on. So that is in short how it works.
Okay, so it's like it's
Yeah,
not a traditional project management software, and your product is kind of unique. Like, for example, it can
it's
help
for visual
in many
tasks.
use cases. Yeah, right. Because, for example, if I'm a freelancer and working for
Yeah.
any development, so whenever I am, changing a few things, I need to always screenshot it and send it to the client, and that's kind of a pain. But
Mm.
here, using your software, I can change things and share with team right away, and they get the instant notification. No need to take a screenshot outside, just do it on the Chrome extension, right?
Yeah. So the main goal is to not have to send bunch of screenshots because first of all, when you do that, they just get lost in the chat. You have no way to track them because in our case, you don't only can send like anything that you want to other person. Like you can share it visually. You can also track its
Mm-hmm.
status.
Mm-hmm.
You can also reply to them. So like it's just much more efficient than just sending a screenshot. In
Saves a lot
addition
of
to
time
that, it's
as
also
well.
more efficient
Mm-hmm.
than doing a screen recording. Yeah, it saves a lot
Mm-hmm.
of time. It's also more efficient than a screen recording because when you do screen recording and you tell like your teammate, hey, we need to change this, that, and that, it's also not recorded as a task. You just say it and then the other person has to watch it again. It's also not very
Mm-hmm.
efficient when it comes to tracking whether actually the task has been completed or not. And also
Mm-hmm.
the third thing is people do lots of calls where they just share their screen and they just sit together and they're like,
Yes.
okay, we should change this, we should change that. So no one
Mm-hmm.
likes video, no one likes like having tons of calls, especially if
Mm-hmm.
you can like not have them. And with Beep, you can reduce the number of calls, the number of screenshots or screen recordings that you have to use in your day-to-day work in general.
Yeah, it's a very unique product. Really, I love it. I love it. I think I'm going to use it and with my team as well because it saves a lot of time, really. And especially you also have a dashboard as well, right? And so keep track of
Yeah.
everything. I think maybe you will be implementing more new features to the software, right?
Yes, so right now we are adding like screen recording as well. And that is more for like things if you have something animated, some kind of animations on your website, and you maybe something is wrong with some animated thing and you want to report it as a bug, or you want to like add some kind of visual comment to some animation on your website, for example. So we
Mm-hmm.
will add screen
Mm-hmm.
recording. We will also add things like audio notes in case you want to leave something long, for example. But the
Mm-hmm.
cool thing that we also want to do is we are adding lots of integrations. So, for example, right
Right.
now we
Mm-hmm.
are almost done with Telegram integration. I don't know
Okay.
what is the
Mm-hmm.
most popular messaging app in Bangladesh. What is actually, is it WhatsApp or what is popular?
Mostly it's
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, but personally, I am using
Okay.
Telegram since 2017. I
Okay.
love Telegram.
Okay. So, for example, we'll have integration with Telegram soon, which means that every time someone beeps you and like they tag you anywhere on the website, on any site on the web, you'll actually get notified in Telegram that hey, someone tagged you and asked you to change this. So, and we will do like
Yes, yes,
integration with
yes.
Slack
It will
and
be
with many
very,
other
very
tools as well.
helpful. Mhm. That's great. So a
Yeah.
lot of features are on the way, guys. And I love the name, by the way, Beep. Beep it. Okay, that's cool. That's fantastic and a very cool product to have. So, like, tell me, what's the pricing?
Yeah, it's
I think I.
per month. So it is right now $6 per user per
Mm-hmm,
month. So
mm-hmm,
if in your company you have 5 people who use it, then it's like
mm-hmm,
$6 per user per month, basically, for each
mm-hmm,
person in the company who is using Beep. But we plan to increase it to $9 very soon. And
mm-hmm.
we'll also have additional
Okay.
plans with more features. But the lowest one is $6. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. I think the price is also very much affordable as well. Yeah, and it will help in many ways. Very cool product to have. I have one more final
Mhm.
question about your product, and that is like, for example, are you planning to integrate the automation software like, Public Connect, Zapier, or something like that?
Yeah, we want to integrate Zapier so that you can integrate it then with other stuff that you use so that you can like customize it for your workflow. We will integrate Zapier. We will also integrate Jira, like ClickUp, and other like task management tools in general. We will also have webhooks, which means you will be able to like do custom things if you want to have your own
Mm-hmm,
integration.
mm-hmm. Okay, so I think it will be a complete all-in-one massive software, really, really. And tell me one more thing. Like, other than Product Hunt, are you planning to launch it anywhere else? Maybe there are marketplace like AppSumo, PitchGround, or something like that.
We want to launch it on AppSumo. We
Mm-hmm.
need to finish a few features, but
Okay.
hopefully we will launch it on AppSumo soon in like 1 2 months.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay, we are almost at the end of our podcast, but before that, I have five unique set of questions for you. I ask these questions to founders to determine if the product is a winning idea or not. So let's find out. Are you ready for the questions?
Let's go.
Okay, so tell me, does your product fulfill a significant market need or desire?
Yes, it's not yes, but just to clarify, it's not like obviously it's not bread. Like it's not a product that it's not something that you cannot live without. But at the same time, what I usually say is like it's like if like you had horses before you won't go back to using screenshots again, basically.
It's like in this fast pacing world, you always need a new technology to save your time. So definitely, it's a product market fit. No problem on that. So the next question, what is the size and scale of the market?
It is quite big because, well, almost any company today has a web presence, and there are like many companies whose main business is online, and any company whose main business is on the web, they need a tool like this to always update their site, to always report bugs, and just keep, competing with other tools.
Yes, yes. And everyone using computers and softwares and doing their projects, making their project on automation. So the market is huge, really. So do you have the
Yeah.
essential skills to succeed in your target market?
I believe yes, because all of us have like the right experience, I think, in order to do
Yes,
that. Especially considering that all of us come from freelancing background and we all have dealt with screenshots, screen recordings before. So every person in the team understands the pain and why we're doing this. So therefore, yes.
right. Tell me one thing. What is the story behind your idea?
Honestly, I don't think there's like any type of crazy interesting story. I remember, I think I was just sitting and thinking of I was just sitting, I think, in an Airbnb. It was on holidays, by the way, and I don't remember exactly how, but I just thought, wouldn't it be cool if I could just leave a comment on the screen? And then I saw that why no one did it before, and then I started just working on it. So it's not really interesting. The idea just randomly popped up in my head. I don't know, maybe I don't even know if it was because of screenshots. I think it just randomly popped up in my head, and then I thought, hey, that could really make things easier. So yeah.
The idea popped up in your head because you had the pinpoint somewhere in your subconscious mind. That's why the
I
idea
guess
popped
so,
up.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess so.
it's like People don't buy product or services, they buy the soul story of a business. Okay, people buy a Nike because they buy the soul story of just doing it. People eat McDonald's not because it
Yeah.
serves the best burgers, because they buy the story of
Yeah.
happiness. People don't drink Coca-Cola because it's tasty, they buy a bottle of happiness. So people buy the soul story. So the story lies
That's
behind
great.
your subconscious mind. So it makes sense. Okay, so final question. What sets you apart from the competition? Why should we choose you over the other competition? Why you? Why not anyone else?
So obviously I can go on and talk about the futures and like blah blah blah. But the main thing that I would say like the biggest thing is the easiness of use and speed. I believe like right now our tool is the fastest and easiest to use. So that's what really makes us stand out.
That's great. That's great. And definitely, you are focusing on the quality and speed, right? So come on, for example, in this fast-pacing world, like the Elon Musk Neuralink is coming. Can you imagine how fast we'll be working using the Neuralink in our head? So yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. So all right. So your product is a winning idea anyway. Okay. And
I'm
I believe as your product
I'm
is
glad to
a
hear that.
winning
Yeah.
and I believe as your product is a winning idea, you are already on $1 million heist. So congratulations on that. And I believe when you hit your first million, now we'll have you one more time on the show to share the stories, shall we?
Oh, hopefully, hopefully.
Perfect. So thank you so much, Farid, to join us today. And we have learned a lot of insights and experience from you. And I think people like me will use your insights, to get on the top anyway. So thank you. Thanks again for joining us today.
No
And
problem.
I believe we'll be having you one more time when you hit your first million, and very soon. And by the way, I'm a very much believer of the power of visualization. If you visualize it, it will be happening soon.
Well, I'm very good at
Okay.
imagining, so that should work. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for it for joining today. And people who are watching till now, thank you very much for watching this episode till now. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell so that whenever we are broadcasting our next episode, you get notified instantly. So have a nice day, people. Bye bye.